Okay, so one of the things that I and most other instructors will get asked by probably every single pupil that I've ever known is what are the reasons why you get failed on a driving test? And Gov.uk have, on DVSA, have got a top 10 reasons why you may fail on your driving test. So, the first one being not making effective observations at junctions. What you must be able to do, you must always make effective observations before moving into a new road. Make sure it's safe before proceeding. Any mistakes you make in this area will be counted under the junctions observations fault on your driving test result. These are some of the examples of the mistakes that would count towards this fault. So, failing to judge the speed of an approaching vehicle. When you turn either left or right from a minor road, you make observations, but you fail to judge the speed of the approaching vehicle. You move off, forcing the vehicle to slow significantly. And that is one of the things that you must not do. You must not, your actions must not negatively affect other drivers. So let's take a look at what they mean. So this is basically it. You're coming up to an end of the road. Everything's fine. You're doing your mirror signal manoeuvre routine on approach. Turning left or turning right, doesn't really matter. And as you come up to it, you slow down to your respective speed for what you can see in the road conditions and such. But you see a vehicle coming, right, and you still kind of go, and as you look in the mirror behind you, just slowed right down, or it beats, or whatever. Okay, you might not even notice, but the examiner certainly will. Obviously, when you're turning left, a lot of the time, like, you know, you really kind of most of the time going to only be affecting the, you know, vehicles coming from your right hand side, because you're joining that path of travel. If we're turning left, but obviously say there's parked vehicles like here, then that vehicle there is obviously going to be coming out and onto what would be your side of the road. Obviously you've still got to give way to them. They're the ones on the road, you're the one who's emerging out of it, so you still got to give way. And then obviously if you're going out to the right hand side, you're going past, you know, you're interfering with both sides. So the way in which most instructors would say is that if you don't know, you don't go. If you don't know if it's safe or not, then you don't go. Driving, especially when you're pulling out of junctions and stuff like that, it's got to be 100% yes, I can go here. If it's not 100% yes, then it's definitely 100% no. Now obviously there are certain circumstances where, say you come up to the end of the road and as you come up to the end of the road, it's a bit more wide, it's a bit more open, you can see there's a car coming, but you're quite a confident driver, you've got a lot of skill, and you approach it with a little bit of speed, a little bit of momentum, and you start going, and you get going, and then you don't cause the other vehicle to slow down. What about those times when, you know, you like I say, you really don't know, you're really stuck? What you want to do is, you want to be thinking to yourself, if I was a pedestrian stood at the side of the road, would I walk across the road from where I am now, say to the middle, if you're only bothered about the vehicles coming from your right hand side? If the answer is yeah, then it should be safe to drive across. If you think to yourself, yeah, I could go, but I'd probably have to kind of break into a bit of a jog, then you shouldn't be going. People with, like, you know, kids or little brothers or sisters, or even people with dogs or something like that. Yeah, one of the things is you want to ask yourself is, what if I was in charge of another human being, you know, guiding them along? I'd want to be walking at a pace that I could keep everybody safe. And that's the same type of mentality that you're going to have there. Imagine that you're walking with your child, or your little brother, or your little sister, or you've got a dog that you're going walking with. You don't want to have to rush. If you can quite comfortably say, yeah, I could walk across the road and just walk, then that should be enough time for you to get out. Now obviously, this all depends on your level of control of the vehicle. Not got a good level of control of the vehicle, if you're worried about stalling or anything else like that, then obviously you shouldn't be in a position to go off and test. If you don't feel like you could kind of get out and accelerate out from a junction, then you shouldn't be going for your test. If you are stalling, like I say, you know, a lot of the time, then you need to work on that with your instructor or whatever. You work on your clutch control and work on using your handbrake to get you going. There's lots of things that obviously you should be working on if that is the case. One being like this, for example. If you're worried about your emerging out onto the road, and like I say, you need to work on kind of a fast move off. So, in order to do this, alright, obviously, pop into first and get used comfortable using that handbrake. Get your biting point, okay, having that gas going, okay, and we're just on a nice, quiet road, or quietish road. And you want to be imagining like, as a car's passing you, you're saying in a race or in a chase or whatever, and you want to get after that car as much as you possibly can do. Now, obviously, you know, you don't want to be coming out at the end of a road and, you know, burning rubber down the street and losing control of the vehicle. But this is one of the ways in which you can get that into your head about getting the gas set, getting the biting point ready, and having the control that you need. Remember, it doesn't matter how much acceleration you have on, the clutch controls everything. You can have a lot of acceleration on, but if you just bring the clutch up a little tiny bit, it'll only use that little bit. But you want that power so that you can use it. So you get that gas ready, get the biting point ready, okay? You have a quick checks and a lot of gas, and still bringing that clutch up nice and slowly. I've heard from examiners that they'd rather hear you revving it like that than having stall. So just like here now, I'm not too sure. There's a few cars parked on my right, a few cars on my right hand side that are basically blocking my view. And that's what I'm imagining. I'm just going to get everything nice and ready. I'm going to have that little bit of gas going, get that biting point, looking down the road, making sure I have the gas going, slowly bringing that clutch up to what I need, and then accelerating away. If I do spot another car, get up to the speed limit. If you get up to that speed limit, even though there's a car coming, if they kind of like increase their speed and keep coming up behind you, then obviously that means that they've been going too fast, and like they're kind of like trying to intimidate you in a little bit. So again, one of the ways in which you can overcome this is making sure that your clutch control is good, making sure that you're comfortable with the use of your handbrake, and going when you know that it's safe for you to go. One of the things that you might be worried about is hesitation, but hesitation is only a problem when it's obvious that you can't go, that you can go, should I say. If you don't go when it's obvious that you can go, that's hesitation. But when you're like looking, you know, and seeing if there's vehicles coming from the right and the left, and if you've got them there, if there is something there, but you think, like I said, yeah, I can quite comfortably walk across the road and get to the other side, but before that vehicle comes, then you should be able to drive out. Okay, so hope that helps. That's just one of the reasons, or one of the examples, okay, so for not making effective observations at junctions. I'm going to go through every single one, and how you could hopefully give you, you know, the skills and tools that you'll need in these examples, so that you don't make those mistakes. Okay, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Okay, and I'll see you again soon in the next one.